and pledge allegiance.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Leave it open, Chief. Leave it open.
No, he's gonna lock you out.
We have a guest are coming up here real soon. Oh, okay.
That's enough humor.
I guess. Yeah, exactly.
All right, so item D on the agenda is consideration of Republican Party nomination to the vacant council seat. Who's going to talk about that one?
I suppose I could.
I can.
As you know, to take the place of Lori, the Republican Central Committee had to, they interviewed two candidates for the position. The candidate that was chosen was Robert Weitzel, and I guess we would present to you Robert Weitzel for council's approval this evening.
Mr. Weitzel, would you like to come up to the podium there? Just, I guess I just want to have a couple questions for you.
Why, sure.
First of all, congratulations on the nomination from the Central Committee.
Thank you.
My number one question is, what makes you want to do this?
Well, I've spent an awful lot of time in the service of the city and the citizens of Napoleon. And now I sit at home thinking about what else I could do. I've spent a great deal of time watching the council meetings virtually. And I think I have something to add to the discussion.
Great.
And this opportunity came, and I thought, well, maybe I'll give it a try.
All right, thank you. That was my main question I had. Anybody else have any questions before we vote?
I don't have a question. I just would like to point out that Lori was also a member of the Electric Committee, the Water and Sewer Committee, and Muni Properties and Personnel Committee
Right.
as needed. So we'll need somebody for those positions as well.
Well, the personnel's on as an on.
Yeah, as needed.
basis.
I wrote down all the
Right.
things that she was on.
Good. All right, anybody else have any questions, comments? All right, we need a motion to accept the Central Committee Republican Party's nomination.
So move.
Second.
Rox, please call the roll.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Welcome aboard.
I swear in.
Here today.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry about your luck.
It was kind of interesting. You know, we talked a little on Friday, and I said, usually when I swear somebody in, I always tell them, look, you're now being public eye, but you've been in public eye for a long time. So there goes that piece of advice. You already know that. And I was thinking to myself on Saturday, I know what I'm going to tell them. I'm going to tell them that, you know, before this, you can say what you want and you're a member of the public. And now your words are going to matter. And then what was the sermon about yesterday at church? Words matter. I think Pastor Marshall's undercut me there too, but that's okay. But I think we're looking forward to being here with us.
Thank you.
And we're excited for this day. So, you ready, Jim? Is somebody out there taking a picture for you?
No.
No? Can somebody take a picture? Please? And send it to him so he has this for his...
Might even text it to you.
All right. I state your name.
I, Robert Weitzel,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Ohio,
and the state of Ohio,
and the charter and ordinances and the charter and ordinances
and the charter and ordinances
of the city of Napoleon, Ohio,
of the city of Napoleon, Ohio.
and that I shall faithfully, honestly, and impartially
And I shall faithfully, honestly, and impartially
discharge and perform the duties
discharge and perform the duties
incumbent upon me as a member
incumbent upon me as a member
of the city council for the city of Napoleon, Ohio,
of the city council for the city of Napoleon, Ohio,
to which I've been appointed.
to which I've been appointed.
Now, I get to sign, and so do you. Please, sir. I know Joe asked you a question already, but unless you'd like to add.
Well, when we did talk, I was thinking about what I might say.
Okay.
Because you always ask me to say something.
Absolutely.
And I thought, this is probably the best thing that I could possibly say. The last time I stood on this side of the bar, I had a position that I felt very comfortable in. And I had what I felt was some competence. And now I feel like I'm in algebra class. So we'll just have to see how this goes, because this is not my ocean. My ocean is totally different.
The nice thing is you have all kinds of people here that can help you in the ocean.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks. Thanks. Thanks, Doc. Kevin, congratulations. Kevin, walk over here. Yes, welcome.
I was thinking out of the envelope.
Is this my seat?
Make sure it's all situated there in
Yep.
that new seat there.
It'll be moved the next time you sit in it.
Yeah. Okay, so from what Billy said there, we do have the committees to discuss. So I haven't been a part of this too much when we've had these appointments, and but when we have, I think we usually just plug the people in to finish out the year, but we do have the option if we wanted to make some changes now or wait till the end of the year.
Craft it however you like. The easiest answer would be to simply insert Councilperson Weitzel into the positions where Lori Sinclair was.
Okay, and if we, is that something we do a motion on, or just?
I think a motion would probably be the best route.
Okay,
Would you re-enumerate the different?
Absolutely. So Lori was the chair of the electric committee, member of the water and sewer committee, and member of muni property.
Okay.
and
Mr. President, to me, that seems to be the easiest situation. And in January, we're going to have even more changes with this council. And then we can reorganize
Right.
all the committees.
right,
If you change now, you're gonna just get good at what you're doing, and you're changing it in January. Now, maybe you stay the same, but you're gonna have a big change. The easiest way is just to slide in with the, I would make the exception though for the tree commission. The council tradition is that the
Yeah.
junior member gets the tree commission, so.
I was advised of that.
Okay.
do you like trees? You will if you would.
Now, if Dr. Day doesn't want it anymore, it's his seat right now to give, it's not mine
I
to give.
have a lot more experience in the electrical department, and I would like to possibly move to the electrical department. And I understand what you're saying about waiting till the end of the year, but the majority of my experience is electrical department. I think Bobby Weitzel has an awful lot of experience working with budget. It might be worth a shuffle, possibly. If we want to wait to the end of the year, that's perfectly fine with me, but there are some, I think both our strengths would lie a little better if we change that up.
If we
Can you
change,
just shuffle one position?
we can't,
That's what I was
because
just gonna say.
if we
Just thought of
take,
this.
if we take Dr. Dave off of water, put him electric, now Bobby's on electric, or on sewer and water twice. So,
No, I wasn't. I was saying finance and budget.
Finance and budget.
Right. Finance and
if I
budget.
changed finance and budget, because he has a lot more experience working with finance and budgets than I do,
So
being
take,
a head of a department.
so you come off of,
I would come off of finance and budget and then go on to the electric.
Right.
you still got, then you're sharing two things then.
So that won't work.
What do you mean?
Because you
He would be
take,
chairing too,
yeah,
you
well,
said?
yeah, because right now, Mr. Weiss will be the chair of electric. That's what Lori was, right? So he'd be chair.
Oh,
And you can't, as soon as we make you chair, now you call the domino effect all the way right down,
yep.
Okay.
right?
Well, it was just a thought. I thought it'd be simple. Doesn't quite work.
Yeah.
out
Right.
like that.
It's,
Good
Who would have thought?
it's almost like a house of cards, right? Things
Yeah.
can change one card for one card, next thing you know, the whole thing.
I think dominoes
Starts
is a
with-
better word.
Dominoes
for
is
this.
better, thank you,
It's a
yep.
better answer these days.
So going back to the tree commission.
Oh, he can have. Those are nice people though, and you
I
will
would
learn a
say
lot.
that is a very, very dedicated.
You
group
learn,
of
you learn a lot of
volunteers
things. You do.
that have faithfully served on that
Yes.
commission for a long time.
Yep.
Yes.
And they work.
Yeah.
They
Yes,
do a
they
nice
do.
Yes, they do.
job. They really do.
There's a lot of interesting things that go with the tree commission that you don't realize until you get into that position. When you see that the reason we plant different species in different areas, that
And they
way if
know
a
that
blight
stuff.
comes through, it doesn't wipe out all the trees in the city.
Yeah.
And it's, can be more manageable if something does happen to a certain species. So yeah, it's been a great,
It's
my
also-
experience there has been very good and those top-notch people.
It's also a great way to learn the community government interaction that can be so positive when people work together.
Correct.
For great stuff. And I've been there, I was on it.
Yeah.
My first council meeting, I got thrown into a list not very far from yours, and we're getting ready to leave, and Patrick
Yeah,
McCoy says, "Hey, before we go, you're now tree commission guy," so, okay.
No, it's been a
That's
very
true.
positive experience all the way around, and very good people that are there, and I'm glad I had a chance to work with them.
Bobby, you have any thoughts on these committees?
My dad told me never to volunteer, but not to turn down a mission.
That's great. All right, then, can we have a motion to keep the committees the way they're listed?
So
Adding
moved.
Bobby on, filling in for Lori's.
So move.
Second.
Okay, Rox, please call the roll.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes,
Dan?
Yes.
okay. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Okay, item E on the agenda is approval of minutes from May 15th, 2023, regular council meeting minutes. In the absence of any objections or corrections, the meeting minutes shall stand approved. Okay, they stand approved. Item F, citizen communication. If there's anyone in the audience that would like to address council on something that is not on the agenda, you can step forward to the podium, or if you're on WebEx, well, Bobby's here, so maybe nobody's on WebEx.
Don't get rid of it, though. It may not be, it may not be forever.
So, if somebody is out there, they can type in the chat and we will address your questions. Okay, moving on to item G, reports from council committees. G1, Finance and Budget Committee did not meet on May 22nd due to lack of agenda items. G2, Safety and Human Resource Committee met on May 22nd. And Dan?
Yeah, at that time, we did a review of the EMS costs and revenues with the townships, the Henry County South Joint Ambulance District, as well as the Village of Florida, and all seemed well at that point. And we also heard a presentation from the police chief on the Northwest Ohio Special Response Team. And at this point, there is more research going on into our involvement with that project.
Okay, thank you, Dan. Okay, item I, introduction of new ordinances and resolutions. We have item I1 is ordinance number 024-23, an ordinance amending the City of Napoleon rules, terms, and conditions governing the sale of electrical service, specifically Rule 26, Appendix A, and declaring an emergency. We have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Andy?
Yes, Council President. This we discussed briefly at the previous meeting to get the legislation going. It's in regard to the fees, which is, Rule 26 is in regard to the fees, specifically pole attachments. When we were reviewing the attachment agreements and prices, because we had a new vendor want to utilize some of our poles, we discovered that some of the numbers were outdated. And the pole attachment fees in the current electric service rules are from 2005. But they do allow for an adjustment per the consumer price index. So putting those numbers together, this legislation allows for the rule change to reflect the numbers for 2023. It's going from $7.50 per attachment within a 1 foot space to $11.70, and from $12 per attachment in a space greater than 1 foot to $18.72. And other than that, there are no other changes to the rules.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions or comments regarding this?
Yes. Will this be adjusted then annually with the consumer price index?
Unless it's brought back to council to adjust it every year, I don't know that it will be. I suppose the next time we get somebody that comes and wants to attach to a pole, it'll be reviewed and probably updated per the CPI at that date. And that would be my recommendation, rather than bringing it back every year, regardless of whether or not we had anybody interested.
If something happens, like an accident to a pole gets sheared by a car, who's going to be responsible to damage that's the attachment on the pole? Would we be responsible for that because they were renting from us, attached to our pole, and our pole failed, or would they be responsible for it themselves?
No, there are reattachment agreements in this, the electric rules, in the contract for the pole attachments. And it allows them 30 days, they are completely responsible. It allows them 30 days to reattach to the new pole. And after that, we can charge them time and material plus 10%.
So even if their equipment gets damaged on the pole, that's their responsibility?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
If I could follow up to that, if that typically happens, that becomes an insurance claim, and we would bill them accordingly, bill that individual's insurance accordingly. And we've done that several times.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Okay, Rox, please call the roll.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Okay, that will be moving on to second read. Item I2 is resolution number 025-23, a resolution authorizing the expenditure of funds in excess of $50,000 for a project known as the Palmer Ditch Pumping Station Project, which was not included in the 2023 master bid list, resolution number 068-22, and authorizing competitive bidding in regard thereto and declaring an emergency, and suspensions requested as well.
Make the motion.
Second.
Thank you. Okay, Andy?
Yes, Council President, I will allow our Public Works Director to speak to this legislation.
This is a project that we had included in the 2023 budget for the wastewater department. The Palmer Ditch Pump Station is the one that serves the entire south side, collects the sewage for the south side and pumps it to the plant. The project was budgeted but was mistakenly omitted from the master bid list, so we had to bring back separate legislation to get your approval to be able to put this project out for bid. Because of the timing and the time frame and long duration to get some of these pumps and valves that are involved in this project, we are requesting suspension so that we can get the project out as soon as we can, get the contract awarded, and then get those parts ordered, because we know there's going to be some lead time on some of the parts. A portion of the parts we were able to order ourselves under the $50,000 threshold because there was money available in the budget, but others will be work performed by the contractors that we can't do, and some other specialty items that will have to be performed by the contractor. Those would be included in what's under the umbrella of this legislation. It's simply a project we budgeted that just was omitted from the master bid list.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions or comments regarding this?
It's designed already, we're just gonna get the, if we order it, if we do this tonight, start ordering stuff, award the bid, we're breaking ground this year, or probably until 24, probably
I
25.
believe we'd be able to start the project this year, and in fact, if you're willing to pass this legislation under suspension, under discussion action, we have everything ready for approval to advertise it this week for bids. So we're ready, we just gotta do the paperwork.
Yeah.
Motion for suspension?
Second.
Okay, Rox, please call the roll.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
All right. Any other questions or comments? Okay, Rox, please call the roll on the resolution.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Okay. That is passed on first read under suspension.
Can I ask a quick question regarding this? If our limit was 75,000 instead of 50,000, would you have been able to order everything?
We would still have to hire somebody to perform the work. We may have been able to, I don't know if we got everything, 75. It would have been close to order all the parts, and then the engineer's estimate on the project that we'll go over later is $125,000 for what's being bid. We might have been able to order all the materials. We still would have had to hire a contractor. They would have been about that 75, 50,000 split. It would have been close.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Good question. Okay, moving on to I3.
I'm sorry, just to add, the state limits is at 50,000.
Right now, yes.
So we couldn't have raised that, I don't believe, anyway.
Right.
Yeah, and we just went up to 50 last year.
That's correct.
From 25, yeah. Yep.
Okay, item I3, resolution number 026-23, a resolution approving the continued operation of the Napoleon Outdoor Refreshment Area, NORA, and declaring an emergency. A motion?
So moved. Second.
Okay, thank you. Andy?
Yes, Council President, this is the legislation required for the NORA continuance. It must be renewed every 5 years. Other than that, there are no changes. It was brought up at the last meeting whether or not we could go to 2 cups versus 1. That legislation had already been passed back in 18. So we already do have a 2-cup.
Nobody remembered it. It was
That's not-
5118
Okay.
was the legislation number where we did change it from 1 cup to 2 cups.
All right.
We're already there.
So, with that said, we will submit the,
Go for 3 cups.
submit the
We have 2 hands,
required
Kevin.
continuance.
So I could have been double fisted since 2018, I didn't
Yeah.
know it.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments? Yes, Dan?
Mr. President, just one question for the police chief. I have not heard of anything, but has there been any problems with Dora over the last several years?
Not a one.
Okay.
Not a one has come in.
Great, thank you.
It just got cited as a reason that we were the 8th, we ranked 8th in a recent survey or study across this great state of ours for dangerous towns that, yeah, because of the NORA.
Yes.
People be walking around. It was hilarious.
I can't remember a single complaint.
It caused- It was funny. I read it. I'm like, that's really funny. You gotta read it. It's
I could just about guess where the writer is from.
Wasn't Jen, that's all I know.
All right, any other questions or comments? Okay, Rox, please call the roll.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Okay, that will be moving on to second read. Item I-4 is ordinance number 027-23, an ordinance authorizing the city of Napoleon, Ohio to levy special assessments for the purpose of acquiring, constructing, and improving certain public improvements in the city of Napoleon, Ohio, in cooperation with the Northwest Ohio Advanced Energy Improvement District and declaring an emergency. Have a motion?
So moved.
Andy, can you tell us what all that means?
Yeah, I will try. This is the last piece of legislation in regard to the Property Assessed Clean Energy Program, or the PACE program, put out by the Toledo Port Authority. As you may recall, the first piece of legislation was passed in April by this body and allowed the Northwest Ohio Advanced Energy Improvement District to enter into a contract or a PACE agreement with the Thermoduct or the Oakwood Partners. The second piece of legislation, which is actually under second read tonight, allows us to proceed with the project in coordination with the Northwest Ohio Advanced Energy Improvement District. And this third and final piece of legislation allows us to levy the special assessments in cooperation with the district. Now, with that said, they would like all of these passed by June 20th, which is the next council meeting, basically. So I would ask that not only this piece of legislation, but the one under second reading tonight, that they both be passed under suspension, so we can put these to bed. They're all three pieces were related in regard to the PACE grant, and so we have achieved a number of reads on all of these.
This will be our fifth read on the topic tonight,
Right.
so
With
if you want a sixth read, I guess we can wait until 2 weeks.
Okay. Anybody have any questions or comments? We'll need a motion for suspension.
Motion.
Second?
Okay, Rox, please call the roll on suspension.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. And now we need a, call the roll, please, on the ordinance.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Okay. That is passed on first read under suspension. Okay, item J is second readings of ordinances and resolutions. J1, ordinance number 023-23, an ordinance authorizing the city of Napoleon, Ohio to proceed with the acquisition, construction, and improvement of certain public improvements in the city of Napoleon, Ohio, in cooperation with the Northwest Ohio Advanced Energy Improvement District and declaring an emergency.
Motion suspend. You want a
Gotta bring the motion,
suspend?
we can't yet,
Can't do it
you
yet?
gotta bring the motion first, and then it gets suspended. So,
Motion?
Good idea, though.
Second? Third?
Okay. Andy?
Yeah, as I just stated, this is the ordinance that allows for cooperation or coordination with the Northwest Ohio Advanced Energy Improvement District. And again, I would ask for suspension on this as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Motion suspend.
Okay. We need a second.
A second.
Okay. Rox, please call the roll on the motion to suspend.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes. That was the hardest part of my homework for tonight.
Understandably so.
Yes. All right. Yep.
I noticed in the last piece of legislation too, the amount noted in the legislation, the 1.18 million. Whose responsibility is it to pay that back? It's just whoever purchases that property, correct?
What I understand of that, and I wanted to reiterate that when this gentleman came in and talked to us, we are not on the hook for any of this.
Right.
If it fails, it fails. It's between that entity and them. We're just basically the go-between. What's gonna happen is through the next 14 years is they'll be assessed those under tax rules. The money be paid to the city. We'll create a special fund for that, but the fund will be basically in and out
Okay.
To me, the key of that would be, is that if you look at, it's page 31, but there's just a little side note there that the Henry County Auditor may impose a special assessment collection fee. So they will end up paying 3% more on top of that. But that's not our concern, is that, you know, if they fail to pay it and then they bill the city for that remaining part, we're not responsible for that,
Okay.
with that. And I did ask directly if there was ever any of these that were not successful, and they said that, they told me that yes, they have had some where they didn't get paid. So the default is on the signer of the note, which is not the city.
Thank you for clarifying that. I think you had asked back then also if we could collect a little bit of money for doing the setup and
Service.
pass-through. Do we ever get an answer on that?
My suggestion would be is moving forward that we do 0.25%.
Mhm.
I mean, we're doing some work, not getting paid for it directly. This is disguised under economic development. We may, and most likely will, end up getting a business into that building that has 10 to 15 jobs, and then we get income tax from that.
Mhm.
But there's no guarantees.
And we wouldn't need to put that in the ordinance or today. You could,
No.
if you
Well,
wanted to, we can just charge that.
Well, you passed it with suspension, so it's already done and gone, so that, but if another one comes forward, that could be a discussion point. Again, there's no guarantees on this. I'm pretty sure that somebody will move in there, I'm sure that we'll get jobs out of it, and I'm sure that they'll pay income tax.
Mhm.
There's nothing tied to it that they will do that anytime soon.
Right.
And it might be a good idea to feel this out and see how it goes first.
Yeah.
Because there are some potentials here, there are potentials for economic development here. There are also potentials for energy saving and for conservation, environmental stewardship and so on that are important as well. So it might be a good idea to see how the first one goes, and then we can start making decisions on whether we charge fees going forward.
And I would argue that with any economic development deal, regardless of whether it's a TIF, a CRA, something through the Energy Improvement District, there is going to be some cost to the city. There just is, and every city does it. So, I mean, is there a cost involved for us to handle this? Absolutely. I think it's minimal compared to some of the benefits that we may get from this. So,
I agree. Considered an investment.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm gonna be confident that we get jobs out of this.
Mhm.
They could turn around and just have this building empty and sell it for more money, and then maybe we gain it 10 years down from the line. Who knows that? But, you know, as an economic development, there's no guarantees with that. We're typically like a CRA, it's tied to a job, and if they don't adhere to those rules of certain incomes or certain jobs, the CRA can be removed
Right.
with that. So that's part of the difference with that. But I have all faith and credit that they're gonna create at least 10 jobs.
Okay. Good.
Thanks, Kevin.
Any other questions or comments? Hey, Rox, please call the roll.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Okay, that is passed under suspension and second read. Item K, third readings of ordinances and resolutions. K1 is resolution number 021-23, a resolution authorizing the expenditure of funds in excess of $50,000 for the purpose of purchasing a vehicle for the City of Napoleon Electric Department and to award said purchase to utility truck equipment and declaring an emergency.
Motion?
Second.
yes, Council President, as we've discussed at previous meetings, this is the third and final reading for the digger derrick that the electric department would like to purchase. And as this is under emergency, if it is passed tonight, then we will follow through, and as quickly as we can get the paperwork done, we will get the delivery of the truck.
Great, thank you. Any other questions or comments? Okay, Rox, please call the roll.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Okay, that is passed on third read. Okay, we'll move on to item L, good of the city. L1, discussion or action, approve specifications and go out to bid for the 2023 street striping project. Andy?
Yes, I will once again pass this along to my Public Works Director.
If you recall from the budget, we had requested a budget amount of $130,000 for street striping for 2023. Every odd year, we stripe the entire city. In the past, those costs have been going up. I believe last year we spent about $122,000. Our estimate's $130,000. We've had two companies already call and inquire when we were going to get this project out. That was my fault for working from home for a little while. But Roger Ice and Brian and I got everything ready, and all we're requesting is approval of the bid documents, and we'll get this project out for bid.
All right. Anybody have any questions? All right, just need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Rox, please call the roll.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Okay, it's been approved. Item L2, discussion or action, approve specifications and go out to bid for the 2023 sanitary sewer cleaning program.
Once again, I will pass this along to Chad for this. I joked with him today that this was going to be his meeting and that I could probably just stay home tonight.
He's the boss. I told him he could do what he wants. Just to refamiliarize everyone with this, the EPA passed a mandate that requires the city of Napoleon and all cities in Ohio, we have to clean every foot of mainline sanitary sewer in the city on a 10-year cycle. We've been doing that for the past 8 years. We're now on year 9. Generally, in the past, when we bid these out, we bid them as multi-year projects. What we are requesting is approval of the specifications to bid for year 9 and year 10. For year 9, 2023, our budget for this project is $100,000. We will review the bids and make a recommendation to approve the lowest and best. The bid for 2024, we will have numbers, but we would bring it back in 24. What that does is it allows us to have continuity with contractors because these are actually opinion and videos. There's software involved. So we try to limit the number and types of software we are required to use. They don't all use the same type. But approval of this would allow us to get the 2023 sewer cleaning project out for bid.
All right, thank you. Any questions or comments?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Hey, Rox, please call the roll.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Okay, that's been approved. Moving on to item L3, discussion or action, approve specifications and go out to bid for the 2023 Palmer Ditch Pumping Station Improvement Project. Chad,
Would you like to handle this?
welcome back. In your exercise with your knee there?
Hey, I'm supposed to do squats.
That's good.
Why don't just let him stand at the podium?
As mentioned in the legislation you passed earlier on the agenda, this is approval of the bid documents and specifications to perform the Palmer Ditch upgrades that we discussed earlier.
Okay, anyone have any questions, comments?
Yes, I have a question. Didn't we do something on the Palmer Ditch like 6 years ago? Some work.
I know we had some emergency work.
There was a failure.
Is that what it was? I was sure that we had something going there before.
Yeah, we had a failure and had some emergency repairs
Okay.
That was when it happened. 22 is when we got the cabinets replaced.
Okay, time flies.
Yeah,
So, yes, it was 21, and the repair work was done in 22.
okay.
That was the controls, this is the pumps and valves.
That's, yeah, all right.
Any other questions? Okay, Rox, please call the roll. Nope.
Motion.
There's no motion.
Need a second, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Second.
Okay, Rox, please call the roll now.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
All right, that has been approved. Item L4, discussion or action, approval for fire department to apply for Henry County Fire Grant. Chief?
Bowen, would you like to handle this?
Yeah, Thursday late morning, the commissioners came out with an announcement that they're gonna offer a countywide grant for fire departments, not to exceed $90,000 worth of ARPA money that the county commissioners have. So through the process, we'll be, with your approval, we're going to apply for a portion of that. There is most likely going to be a match of some sort, but I think that's going to depend on how many entities actually apply for the grant. If there's only a couple, we may get fully funded. If all 10 departments, we may only get a small portion of it. And I have spoke with finance and the city manager about what we would like to do with this, and have their blessings to come forward to you to get your blessing to apply for this.
Do you have anything in mind that you think?
Yeah, so what we're going to try for is with the PD upgrading their CAD, their dispatch CAD, we're looking to follow along with that so we can see live time what's going on. And what that does for us too is with the county fire departments all going on the same channel again, all of our EMS calls are going to be on the same as everybody else. With this central square, we'll be able to use push button and we'll be able to stay off the radio for any single unit response. Any large response, obviously we still need radio time, but for the run-of-the-mill EMS calls, we can stay about 90% off the radio with the exception of dispatch. So, and then that'll bring up live times. It'll show when we're en route, when we're en route to the hospital, and then it integrates with our reporting program too. So all of our times, all that dispatch information automatically uploads into it, which saves our members time when they're doing the reports.
Okay. Good. Any other questions or comments? All right. We need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
Hey, Rox, please call the roll.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks, Chief.
You're welcome. All right, item L5, discussion or action on the purchase, outfitting of operations department small dump truck and water service truck. Hey, Chad, welcome back.
Thank you. You missed me.
Yep.
Last fall, when we were preparing the budget for operations, we had included in the budget $190,000 for a small dump truck for the street department, and we had also included $181,000 in the budget for a water service truck. They would be coming out of their respective funds. We did get pricing. We do have a vendor that's willing to sell us the chassis below the state contract price. However, it's still over $50,000. And we're also requesting, Collida Truck has outfitted every truck in our fleet. So we're asking for the legislation to include waiving the bid process for that so that our trucks remain similar. But at this point, we're just requesting the law director be directed to draft that legislation so we can get these trucks coming.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments?
It's good savings. On both of them. It's really good savings, yeah.
Honestly, we were surprised.
Yeah.
I'll give my new operations superintendent all the credit. But yeah, no, we were happy that it came in so far under budget. Almost 53,000 under on one and 22,000, 23,000 under on the other one. So,
Great.
Thank you, guys.
Mhm. All right.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, Rox, please call the roll.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes?
Okay, that has been approved. Item L6, discussion or action, condition of south water tower. And do you want to discuss that at all, or just refer to the water sewer committee?
Jeff, I don't know, did you want to discuss this? We just asked that it get referred to the Water and Sewer Committee. There's actually two items we'd like to have referred to the Water and Sewer Committee. First is the South Water Tower. There's a utility services group that would like to make a presentation on the services they could provide for us, and also on the inspection that was completed on the South Tower. And as well, in addition to that, Jeremy would like to do a wastewater treatment plant construction update at that same meeting. So I ask that both those be referred to committee.
Jeff, do you have anything to add?
Not really, we just, another condition of the south tower, we knew what the condition of the north tower was when we got in that, all rooms back when the project was going on. We don't want to let the south tower get to that point, so we had a company come in, do an inspection on the south tower, paint interior, exterior, and then also follow up on the north tower, and we want to come in and do a presentation to kind of make a recommendation on where we should go with this, and give us basically the advice that we need to move forward with it. So,
Thank you. All right, you'll just refer that to the Water Sewer Committee, please. Okay, item L7, discussion or action to accept a donation of $1,530 from the Chamber of Commerce to the Police Department for the Summer Youth Program. Chief?
Yes, Council President, this is, actually came originally from the Eagles, who donated to the chamber, and then
Nice.
to, that way they could donate to us then due to some tax issues. But as for all of our summer youth programs, which we've got about 7 on the agenda, there's gonna be information coming out. Everything from cops and bobbers to the cornhole, kickball. There's a couple other ones that he came up with this year, so.
That includes Safety City?
Safety City is funded primarily by the Parks Department.
Okay.
So that's got its own
Okay.
funding. And we get a donation through, something else, Mr. Mack.
United Way?
United Way,
Yeah.
yes, thank you. For the Safety City.
Could you send out, or at least maybe get it to Andy for our, the weekly update or something on the dates on all 7 of those?
Yeah, I just got
Nice to
that last week, so we'll
Okay.
be discussing it tomorrow as staff.
Cool.
Yeah,
And the
great.
Cops and Bobbers is this weekend, correct?
Yes.
On Saturday?
Yes, it's in the
Two
paper
sessions?
tonight.
Yes. Yeah, and we're doing, one of the things that we're gonna be doing is a sensory, one, for some individuals who have sensory issues.
Nice,
We've got a special, summer program for them as well,
that's great.
with Safety City this year.
All right.
But I'll give you that information.
Okay, thank you. All right. We need a motion to accept this donation, please.
Motion?
Second.
Okay, Rox, please call the roll.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
All right. Now we'll go around the table here, and it'll be nice to our new member. I'll have you go last, that way we can put you on the spot in the beginning here. Start with Kevin.
5-0.
That was easy. Dr. Dave.
Welcome to the council, Bob.
Thank you, sir.
Other than that?
All right. Ken.
Welcome to our little group.
Yes, sir.
That's all I have.
All right, Ross.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We have a great team, and I think you'll be a great addition, so excited to work with you. Jeff, I'm glad you're here. There's been numerous comments on the water. I saw the post today on social media. Can you just kind of address that for us?
Yeah, of course, it's been a day, I know that. If I could say that treating off the Maumee River was always easy, I would be lying, I know that. But, unfortunately for us, we can't just shut off the pumps and fall off the reservoir with, snap of a finger all the time. So, so many variables that come into play. The taste that we're experiencing is nothing harmful. We're gonna work through it, and the water is still safe to drink, which is kind of what most of us know right now. We'll work through it, and hopefully in the next coming days we'll be out of it and back to normal. So, need some rain, I know that. I know we're talking with Dawson on right now about potentially pulling some water off of the reservoir. Hopefully they don't have algae problems as well.
Okay.
Just kind of playing the cards the way we need to play them to make sure that the water stays safe.
I think that was the discussion that Jeff and I had, Jeff, Matt, and I had today was in regard to the, I mean, the water's just not moving. It hasn't been stirred up, and we're not 100% sure it's going to be any better coming from Wasion.
Yeah, most of the time when we get in this kind of a spell, it's not any more favorable. It's usually we have moving water, so we get it in for quality every day. It's not moving, it's low, it's sitting out there, it's been hot, and it's just something that we gotta get through it. And I know my staff is eating their heads off the wall, pushing chemicals, jar testing, doing what we need to do, and they're doing a good job, but we gotta get figured out. Hopefully the next couple of years we'll get there.
It tests fine in every respect. It just has a funky smell and taste. Perfectly safe to drink.
Yeah, I appreciated seeing the notice put out. And I appreciate you and your staff to ensure that everything's still safe. So thank you guys for doing what you can. Really appreciate it. I did look, Cops and Bobbers, 13th and 14th, just for the record.
Oh.
That's all I had.
All right, thank you. Mr. Mayor?
We need to update our Wikipedia page. It's changed.
Can anybody update Wikipedia?
They can, yeah. We got some IT guys that can do a whole lot easier than I can. Their biggest problem is to figure out how to spell Weitzel. Mine is to figure out how to do it in the first place. So, thank you. And then also our city website, I think, still reflects Jeff Rathke being our operations superintendent. So
Does.
that needs, since he's now officially retired.
I actually made that note to myself today and
Okay.
make sure that gets changed, so.
Was at the city pool last night, and I think you mentioned this already, Andy, but the pump for I call it the curly Q slide, the longer slide, still not working. We have an update on that?
Yeah, as you may or may not know, that was completely jammed up after the winter. We actually snapped some things trying to free it up. It was that jammed. The PO has been issued, and we anticipate approximately 2-week delivery on that.
Okay.
So we are very hopeful that it will be up and running prior to the July 4th holiday.
Okay.
So it's, the installation part of the process isn't terribly difficult, easy for me to say. But I did specifically ask Tony about that today.
Okay.
And when they designed that facility, the pump facility, they actually put skylights in over where these things go in and out. And he said with a little bit of help from our electric department and utilizing their equipment, they can lower these things right into place.
Awesome.
Plug and play, basically, so.
Awesome, okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Our next meeting is scheduled for June 20th, which is a Tuesday, because June 19th is Juneteenth. And do we know, Billy, for sure, can we change our schedule if we want to?
So, council can suspend the rules.
Okay.
As it does in other situations to,
Okay.
remove it would be.
It'd be a special meeting, right? On the
I
19th?
don't know that it would necessarily need to be called a special meeting, could simply, I mean, so council rules state that when we've got a holiday, as we do coming up on the 19th, that council shall meet on the following day.
Okay.
However, that's one of the many rules that council has in place that can be suspended and are suspended occasionally. So if council would like to do a meeting on a day where, you know, the city staff has not been working, council can do that.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I prefer the 19th. Monday just seems to be just kind of a really good day, kind of in a rhythm every Monday, or, just kind of appear on every Monday kind of thing. I know some people aren't gonna be here, I understand that. I'm just telling you, my preference is to leave it on the 19th. And then, no, I think you're gonna both be gone, right? Right, not trying to state secrets by saying that, right? APPA conference or something?
Correct.
Where at?
In Seattle.
Seattle. Give me some coffee. Ken, do you have a preference?
No, I don't.
Dr. Dave?
No, fine.
No?
No preference.
Okay. Want to do on the 19th? Is that all right? Is that all right, with everybody? Okay. If not, raise your hand up pretty quick,
Well-
we'll change it. But
Quorum,
Will Mrs. Nepoli be back?
I assume so. Well, 4.
Was that the official way to do that, Billy?
Probably
No,
not.
no, it's
Okay. I
not.
know, I just
Well,
wanted to see what he wanted.
I haven't taken the vote yet, I'm just trying to make sure that, before I'm just counting heads here to see. We're assuming that Mal will be back on the 19th,
Mhm.
so you'd have 5.
Yeah.
We can do it with 4 if we need to. So,
Who runs the meeting in that situation?
If neither of, I guess council would have to figure out who they'll quickly nominate to run the meeting, I suppose, since, both of you will be gone. If we have 4 and only 4, then we will not be able to vote on emergency at all.
right.
So if Molly's not gonna be here, then emergency will need to be taken out of any legislation that's pending. I don't know if the 20th works better for getting more people here, or how that is, but.
Those two will be gone for like 3 days.
I just prefer the 19th.
And worst case scenario would be we can have the meeting on the 26th, the following, if for some reason, there wasn't.
As long as there's 2 a month.
Right,
Yeah.
so
Well, we'll try for the 19th, and we gotta adjust from there, we'll adjust from there. Of course, I can't say that, I need somebody to make a motion.
If council would like to vote to suspend that rule, and then council president can schedule it for the 19th, if that's what you want to do, then yeah, that's fine.
whoever's gonna be here, one of you guys can make that motion, because we're not. Okay.
Second?
Suggested. Potentially.
Hey, Rox, please call the roll.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Ken?
yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Thank you very much for that. So for a long time, I called you chief, and then I called you Bobby, and now I'm gonna call you Bob.
You don't
It's gonna
have
take-
to.
It's gonna take me a little while. It's gonna just take me a little while, so
We've
bear
already
with.
pretty much labeled me as Bobby here. It's okay. It's all
If I
right.
slip up, it's not,
It's okay.
it's not welcome. Glad you're here. Very, very glad you're here.
None of it is an it.
Well, again, I'm not
I
very-
do have a question off of what you talked about earlier, if I can kick in quick.
Yeah.
That pump that was replaced with the city swimming pool, the maintenance costs, is it being close to budget of what we thought it was going to be for the cost for maintaining the pool? Are the costs higher than we expected?
I don't have an answer for you, for your specific question. I know we have incurred some costs that we didn't anticipate, pumps to be replaced in your third year.
Was any of this covered under, was there a
We are
warranty or anything?
we are pursuing warranty kickback on that, yes.
Is part of it a design flaw that's gonna be recurring costs?
I don't believe so. I don't believe so. I don't want to say anything that I probably should. I don't want to speak an opinion, but we're still working through some issues. In terms of recurring costs, I don't believe any of these major items are going to be recurring costs.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the
You're
spot.
you're
I
not,
was
that's
just
fine.
curious.
That's fine. Yeah, that's a fair question. But I don't believe some of these costs are going to be year after year after year, every 2 years, or every 3 years.
Well,
I think we had some bad equipment that failed prematurely, and we are replacing it with better equipment and going back to try and get the warranty coverage on it.
Okay.
And Dr. Dave, you probably know better than anybody else, when you walk outside your office at 4:30 and look across the parking lot at the pool, usually packed full of kids.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's not the point. I'm
Understand.
just,
No,
I'm curious
yeah,
on the,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I'm seeing that the pool's being utilized
Yeah.
quite a bit, and I'm glad to see that. But I was curious what was happening with that, and sometimes if something gets a bad design, it's hard to find a good workaround.
Yeah, and you know, the first.
I'm not saying it's got a bad design.
No.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
No, and it's not a bad design. I think there were some issues with some of the equipment. And Tony will tell you, whether it was the old pool or the new pool, the first couple of weeks of operation.
You're always gonna find something.
You go through,
Yeah.
yeah, that's where probably 90% of your problems are.
Right.
And you work through
Start up.
those and you're smooth sailing, so,
Mhm.
yeah.
That's all I
Hopefully
have.
that answers your question.
Yep, sure does, thank you.
Dan?
Mr. Weitzel, welcome.
Thank you.
That's all.
Okay. Bobby?
The only thing I'm gonna have is thanking all of you for having me. You could have voted me out, sent me out the door.
It's
And
not that, we're not gonna. do
I'm
that.
going to save any other comments about any other things until I get a little more time under my belt.
Okay, great,
I'll pass for the rest.
all right. Hey, Billy?
Welcome to Bobby, Chief,
Thank you.
all the other names. Good to see you. I was wondering how long it would take. But we got there.
You got there.
That's all I have.
Thank you.
You got tired of watching us on TV and wanted to.
You kept cutting me off. Why'd you keep cutting me off?
Yeah, I know.
I had to come down.
Andy?
Click of the button. I really don't have anything. As you can see on the screen, the Arbor Day celebration is Wednesday evening. And I suspect that the mayor will be issuing, it says right there, proclamation.
Oh, all right.
Oh. I signed it.
I forgot to tell you, didn't I?
Yeah.
Put that
I don't
on
have
the,
anything else.
tree,
Thank you.
Chair.
That's typically goes.
He should
The
just
tree commission usually goes and reads the proclamation as prepared by the mayor. That's typically the way that goes.
Are you busy on June 7th, Bobby?
He said yes.
Not anymore.
I'm just reading over his shoulder right now. 6 o'clock.
I feel like it obligates the mayor to be there. That it does.
Yeah,
That's not
yeah. You know,
It's in the council package.
Yeah, it's right
It's
there.
Tree City USA after all.
the nice thing is you get this big thing called delegation on your chest when you get in the seat, so. It'd be a great way for a new councilman to make his presence known.
I don't see that it says delegate anywhere.
Yeah. I'm sure it's in the rules someplace. Other duties as assigned.
They're saying you got a mission?
Same, yes, I do.
I thought I just heard a railroad whistle.
Yep. Exactly, sure.
All right, I'll let you two work that out.
Well, if I didn't
Another
have,
time.
if I didn't have to get my son to 2 different places at the same basic time, I'd be there tomorrow. But I got places I got.
I'll check my calendar.
Thank you, Bob.
Andy, you have anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. One thing I have is, welcome again, Bobby, appreciate it, and, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'll give you my number here after the meeting, and just anytime you think of something, let me know. Be happy to help you. All right. Okay, that's all I have. Item M, executive sessions as needed, we don't have any, that's free. Item N, approve payments of bills. In the absence of any objections or corrections, payment of bills will stand approved. Okay, hearing none, stand approved. Need a motion for adjournment, please.
So moved. Second?
Okay, Rox, please call the roll.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes,
Dan?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
we are adjourned.